Welcome to Sexy Mom Abundant Life with best-selling author and coach Kathy Williams, a show to help you tap into the support of the universe and access the abundance that's available in every area of your life. Listen in for conversations and tools to create more ease, joy, and possibility with family, relationships, business, and living. Kathy's joyful perspective will help you tap into your own wisdom and create a life of presence and abundance your way. Listen live on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, or anytime on iTunes or at IOM FM.
Welcome to Sexy Mom Abundant Life. This is Kathy Williams, and I'm really excited about today's conversation because we're going to be talking about something that stops up a lot of people, keeps us from making the choices we would like to make, from having the adventures and experiences, and it can create a lot of tension in people's lives. Can you guess what it is? Money. So this show today is going to be about changing your stories about money, because as we change our stories, the stories we're living from, the stories we're living as though they're true, we end up changing our experience of money. And I have firsthand experience of that. So I'll talk about some of my money stories and some of the really common money stories that people hook into. And we'll do a couple of different exercises that I've found really change things fast. So stick around till the end, because we're going to be implementing those, and there's something that you can use kind of on a daily basis to explore as life brings you experiences. You can look at them and be like, okay, what stories are going on here? And then use the tools to change those stories. So a little bit about the show. I've been on this show now for, like 10 months, something like that, but on the radio for about 4 years. And it's just such a gift to be able to connect with you. I love to hear from listeners. And one of the best places to do that is at meetkathywilliams.com. So at meetkathywilliams.com, you can get a free money rain exercise, meditation, and a create your life exercise that people seem to really like. I get lots of feedback on that. So that's just at the homepage at meetkathywilliams.com. Kathy has a K, Williams has an S, and that's right there. You can go grab it for free. And then if you have questions about the show or comments or a topic you'd like to see, in fact, this show today was inspired by a listener who said, hey, I've heard this tip about money a lot, and they never seem to be able to implement it. So I'll talk about how to implement the idea of starting a 10% account. That means saving for you, even if you don't seem to have 10% extra. We'll take a look at that and some of the ways you can do that. Also, some of the questions you can start asking of yourself and of the universe. And then, as I said at the end, we're going to do some fun exercises to help you shed the limiting stories about money. All right. So the first thing is, a lot of times our stories about money are unexamined because they seem real to us and natural to us. It's kind of like a fish in water. It's swimming in the water. It doesn't recognize, hey, this stuff around me is water. And similarly, as you're a child, you kind of marinate in the energies and the points of view of those around you. For most of us, that's a mom or a mom and a dad. For some people, it's more grandparents, and so whoever was around you, they had points of view about money that you kind of marinated in and soaked up, and some of those may still be unconscious, and some of them you may be conscious of and kind of push against, like retaliate against, and then others you may be living as though those are true. And either living as though those money stories are true or retaliating against them, like pushing against them, both give those stories energy. So we'll talk about that and some of the ways to unwind from that. And then also the other thing is, as you start to look at your money stories, you can actually start to look for the evidence that those aren't true. Let's say your story is that money is hard to get. Well, then you start to ask, well, okay, what's the evidence I have that that's not true? Oh, well, my friend found $100 on the ground. Actually, that happened to a listener. She was listening to one of my money polls. I have a class on my website that includes some different energetic exercises about money. It's in the shop on my website. And she said, Kathy, I got this message. Look what I found after I listened to your exercise. My mom turned it on and I was listening, and then I found this $100 bill. So looking for the evidence that money is not hard, if it's your story that you have to work hard for money or money is hard to get. And your life kind of shows you these stories. Okay, whatever's showing up in your reality is reflective of how you're thinking, which is really cool because you don't have to go looking for new experiences. You just look at what's showing up for me. Okay, cool. I get stressed when I have bills. Okay, cool. What are my stories around that? Oh, well, my money barely stretches to the end of the month, or there are more bills than money coming in. Okay, so those would be two stories, right? And if you're going to change your stories, you've got to be able to see that, oh, I have this story, and so now I can change it, right? If it's unconscious, then how can you change it? So your life is presenting the material, right? Whatever's showing up in your life. Oh, I get unexpected money and then I get an unexpected bill. Okay, what are my points of view around this? What are my stories around this? And sometimes it takes a moment. So you ask yourself that question and maybe sit with a pad of paper for 10 minutes and be like, oh, yeah, my point of view is that that every time I get an unexpected sum of money, I get an unexpected bill. Okay, write that down. Oh, my point of view is that money is hard. Okay, well, what's underneath that? Yeah, my dad said that, and I saw his whole life was like that. Or my mom said that, we never have had enough. Or something like that, where it's like, as you sit there, you see one story, but that story is backed up by other judgments, points of view, opinions, experiences. So you start to unpeel. Like, oh, when I was 3, I remember every time my mom paid bills, she was super tense, right? So all of these different things, and you accumulate the evidence, all right? You accumulate kind of the reason why whatever's showing up is showing up. If your point of view creates your reality, or if your vibration about money is tense and constricting, then your experiences, you're attracting those experiences that bring more of that. As you start to unpeel, oh gosh, yeah, this and this and this and this and this are my points of view about money, and they're not actually serving me. They're not actually the reality I'd like to be living. You get to see that. You get to use any tools you have, whether that's clearing, using any kind of clearing statement, imagining all these points of view, going into a fire and burning, or the exercise we're going to do at the end of the show. You can start to peel away those layers of points of view and then replace them. Well, what would I rather have? Okay, I think, money is hard. Well, I'd rather have ease and peace with money. I'd rather have an experience in which money serves me and I serve the world with it. Okay, and we'll talk about some premises that you can live by that are completely different, that actually you can build your life and expand your life and your money flows on as we go through the show. Okay, so if your premise is there's not enough in the world, there's not enough money, at least we have love, right? Some parents say that, right? Oh, well, we may not have money, but at least we have love. Those people over there with money, they don't have that. And that's like it's an either or. So you could write that one down. Oh, I think I can have a life of either love or money, but not both. Okay. Looking at these points of view and writing them down so you see them and seeing that these points of view lead to other stories or experiences, right? Your experience, your past experience becomes a story. Maybe when you were 5, you lost a $5 bill. Actually, that happened to my mom when she was a child. She was supposed to buy something for her family, and she lost the money. And that meant they didn't have food for a couple of days, and then it's on the child. Like, oh my gosh, you're bad, you're wrong with money, you're irresponsible with money. All those things become stories that we begin to live by as if they're true, when actually they're made up. All right, yes, maybe you had an experience in which you lost money. Does that mean that you're bad with money? No, it means you had an experience in which you lost money. That's it, right? So we can start to look at those experiences too, and then what have I decided about myself? Oh, I've decided that I never have enough money. I'm not good at making money. I'm not a good business person, whatever it is, right? Based on an experience. But in truth, all of those stories are made up. And you may say, but I have a mountain of evidence. I have an enormous pile of evidence that it's a true story. Well, yeah, that's because you believe that story. Right? If you didn't believe the story anymore, then you would start to have new evidence of something else. Okay? So starting to look at the story you have and kind of unpeeling the layers of that, and we'll do an exercise for that as well. And listen, all my thoughts about money are thoughts I'm choosing. And some of them I'm choosing to believe. You may not be believing all of them, but at least many of them you are choosing to believe. And you're choosing it because you think it works for you. So let's do that actually. This is a little exercise before we go to the break. Think of a thought you have about money. Say, okay, I have this thought because I'm choosing it. And I'm choosing it because I think it works for me. Do I really want to keep choosing that? Does it really work for me? What would I rather believe? What would I rather choose? Recently, my husband, we're finally finished renovating this huge rental house. And it cost far and above what it was supposed to cost. So my husband was like, "Can I have $80,000?" And I was like, and I saw my reaction, right? Okay, so that tension, that reaction means there are some points of view there, right? Like one of the points of view is, I don't want to give you $80,000 for this, even though it's an investment, right? It's not like we bought a Ferrari, right? We are putting this money in an investment, but I had such tension around the $80,000, like, all right. And it brought up a lot in me. So then I had a lot I got to look at, right? Anytime we have an experience that triggers us or brings up a lot of tension, there are points of view there. We're not in non-judgment. We're not in allowance. Triggers mean we're judging somewhere, which is cool because then we get to look at it. So I'm going to share more about this $80,000 and my story around it when we come back from the break. For now, as we go to the break, start to think about some of your points of view about money and the fact that you're choosing those. Right? Even if you seem to have a lot of evidence and life experience around it, I'm choosing it, and I have total ability to choose something different. And we'll replace those old things with something new as the show goes on. Thanks for listening to Sexy Mom Abundant Life on IOM.FM.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
We have all read about or heard about becoming more spiritual, about working with our energy, the awakening, the shift, about being our authentic selves, living our purpose, reaching our true potential. The challenge doesn't lie in the knowledge, it lies in the execution. The struggle becomes connecting to that limitless self-healing part that each one of us has and gaining control of who we truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Reverend Aisha Hogan, and you are invited to join me on a master's practice on OMTimes, Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard.
Would you like to have a life of more clarity and abundance? What's possible for you when you get out of your own way? Connect with Kathy Williams for private coaching or join her online to transform your relationship with abundance in every area of your life with the Radical Abundance course. Kathy also travels, facilitating radical abundance and access consciousness bars and foundation around the world. She'll be in London, Hawaii, Hilton Head, and other fun locations soon. Visit www.meetkathywilliams.com for a class schedule, to connect with Kathy, or invite her to your region and get some free goodies.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sexy Mom Abundant Life Radio. I'm Kathy Williams, and today our conversation is about money and our stories about money and how those shape how life shows up for us. And as the show goes on, we're going to do some exercises to purge those stories, to start to shed them. And the first step is looking at the stories, right? And the cool thing is what life brings up for you. If you'll ask, oh, what stories do I have that's bringing me this situation? You know, you'll find them. What stories, you know, are triggering me. So I give you an example about this rental house that we're renovating that's finally through after a year. And actually, there are two houses on the property. So the two houses took a year to renovate, but, you know, along the way, my husband says to me, can I have $80,000? We need $80,000. And I got really like tense and contracted about it, which is cool. That's a gift. Every experience is a gift. So why is that a gift? Because it shows me I have some judgments and stories about giving him this $80,000 for the renovation. So I get to look at what are those stories. And one of my stories was, it will take a long time for me to get that back. Okay? A long time for that $80,000 to come back to me. And then I got to look at, okay, I'm making this up, right? I'm making this story up and then living as though it's true, right? If that's my belief, then it's much harder for $80,000 to come in through my business, through my investments, through whatever, when I have this story that it's going to take a long time for it to come back to me, right? So I'm making it up and living as though it's true, which is what we're doing. We have choice. And we did kind of a choice exercise before we went to break. So if you missed that, it was just before the break. And a lot of times we don't think we have choice in these beliefs because it's what we see all around us. Like I said, as we're growing up, we're kind of marinating in the points of views, the stories, the judgments and of our environment, the people around us, so our parents, our grandparents, whomever is around us. And so a lot of times they aren't giving us useful financial education or information. And does school do that? No. So it's like, it's okay. It's not a wrongness of you that you haven't had great financial wisdom bestowed on you. So a lot of times we don't realize that we have choice in our points of view about money and finances. So as you look at your story, okay, mine was, it will take a long time to get that $80,000 back. Then I look at like, what if that weren't true? Oh, well, so much tension leaves my body, right? Well, I'm making that up. What if that weren't true? What if it could be easy to have that back? Okay? What if 80 is not a big deal, right? Like, let's pretend it's 80,000 nachos. Okay? That's not such a big deal, right? When we make it money, we make it more significant. 80,000 leaves. You know, okay, there are 80,000 leaves around. Okay, so because it's money, we get significant about it. And that might be something to write down. Money is significant, right? That's my belief. That's my story. I'm not saying make it insignificant, right? It's like if you're making your weight significant, it's very different from making it insignificant versus coming to a place of neutrality about it, a place of ease about it, okay? So looking at your story, the story, it will take a long time to get that back. Okay, that's made up. What if it weren't true? And then, universe, show me ease in receiving $80,000. Okay? I soften even more. And then tap into the energy of that. What would it be like to be the person who receives that with total ease? Now, that's a totally different energy from tension around $80,000. Tension around, and the funny thing is, for me, it was just moving that money from one investment to another. It's not like we're going on, a cruise and spending that. Okay? So changing your point of view. What's my story around this? What if that story weren't actually true? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm living from something that's made up. I've made up the fact that it takes a long time to get that, right? A long time could be 7 months. A long time could be a year, right? A long time for some people might be that's going to take 5 years to get. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, okay? A long time is also subjective. And then what else could I choose? What other point of view could I choose? Now, universe, show me the evidence that it could be easy for that to show up, right? Because I've been living with the evidence of the other thing, right? My point of view is like a film on my glasses. So let's say my point of view is a purple color. Stick that purple color on my glasses when I see the world through the lens of purple. Well, if I say, that lens doesn't really work for me anymore, and I unpeel it, now I can see the world in a totally different way. Okay? So then you start to tap into the energy of your preferred state of being. So let's all do this. Maybe for you, 80 is too high or too low a number. To choose a number that kind of lights you up, that feels like energetically good, right? Not like, something feels off about it. But choose a number. And now let's ask, universe, show me ease in receiving this amount. And we're not saying, the tooth fairy is coming and giving you this amount. It's like ease in receiving that through what you do, ease in receiving that from whatever sources the universe would like to bring it. Okay? And tap into the energy of the person who has ease in receiving that. Okay? Usually your body softens, right? Because there's an ease about it. Let me be the energy of a person who has ease with that. Now, often, we read a book, we do a workbook, something that says, do this thing and your financial life will change. Okay, maybe it will as you change your points of view. The thing about this planet is, have you noticed, it's a physical planet. It's energetic, yes, right? Everything is energy. And it's also an action-oriented planet, which means if you want to make a change, yes, you must make an energetic change, which is what we've been talking about. Changing your thinking changes your energy, okay? And taking action steps to create whatever it is you'd like to create. So that may involve, one, looking at your stories, changing the stories. Two, okay, I recognize for me, instead of the story that there's not enough, right, I have the story that we live in an abundant universe and there's more than enough to go around. Right? That's my story. My story is that money is like breathing. It's always circulating. We never say, no, I don't know where my next breath is going to come from. We always trust, unless you're underwater, I guess, but we always trust that there's going to be enough air. And that's my relationship with money until someone asks me for 80,000. No, we've changed that story, right? So it's like, what premises would you like to have now, right? And then live from those premises. Another premise I have about money is that as we contribute things of value, we receive money. Okay? So that is anywhere from like the sandwich place I go for lunch, right? I'll do a plug for 808 Deli. So I go to the deli and get a salad, and I give them money because I value that salad. That salad is delicious. That makes my body happy, right? I'm happy to give them money for it. I go to the Mac store, the Apple store, and I give them money because I value having a computer that I like. I go to the yoga class or the bar class and give them money because I'm happy to stretch and work and enjoy that workout or that relaxation. Okay? So those things are valuable to me, and I'm happy to give them money. Similarly, when I provide things that are valuable to people, a coaching session, a healing, a reading, an online class, a retreat, like I'm providing something that's nourishing, that's life-changing for people, and I'm happy to receive money for that. And the cool thing is there's no end to the things you can provide, right? There's no end to human innovation or innovation on this planet, right? So we can always come up with something else that's a contribution, right? And people pay for contribution. Now, here's a hang up a lot of healers and coaches have, and that is not seeing the value of what they contribute and not being willing to receive money for it, right? To be compensated for it. So then you get to look at your stories. Oh, what are my stories here? Oh, well, I was told who would pay for healing, or, oh, you're a starving artist, or whatever it is, like artists need to suffer, whatever those stories are, again, write them down, dig them up, have a look, and shed them, clear them. One thing I've been working with a lot in my masterminds and coaching sessions is unhooking from the morphic field, in essence, the energetic field of lack. Okay? You can be tapped into lack and vibrating in that energetic field, or you can choose something totally different. Done with that. Who do I know? What do I know that's a reflection of the prosperity that I would like to have? And I tune myself to that frequency and that vibration. And what's so cool about it is it happens quickly. Okay? I do have a mastermind on Sundays that has another spot. So if that's calling to you, we've just begun and had one session, and it's got a really juicy energy of women coaches and healers who are ready to expand their lives with relationships and finances and with their business. So if that calls to you, head to meetkathyWilliams.com/alchemy. Check it out. Email me if you have questions, and we'll see if it's a fit for you. Because it's a really powerful adventure. It's a 5-month journey and so cool. One of my very favorite parts of the week. So unhooking from the morphic field, from that energetic field of lack. It's kind of like, again, what you're marinating in and hooked into. And when you go somewhere else, let's say you're used to shopping at Walmart or Target, and then you go somewhere like, just for fun, Gucci or Tiffany's, and you're just in a whole different level of energy. Neither one is right or wrong. They're both useful, but they feel different. And so tapping into the energy that you would like to expand and create in your life. So before we go to the break, let's just start to look at some of the premises you can live by instead of money is hard, which is one that a lot of people are given. I'm not good with money. I have to work hard for it. I'll never get beyond this sort of ceiling on my finances. Teachers don't make enough, or whatever it is. Artists are always struggling, right? What would you rather live by? One might be, money is a gift that makes life greater. It makes my life greater and the lives of others, right? It's ever expanding. It's always circulating. Money expands what you're capable of. What I love about that is, as people say, you've probably heard, the money is the root of all evil. Well, what about the lack of money, right? Certainly that leads to more crime than having more money. You might believe like rich people are mean. Well, is that really true, or does money expand who you are? So if you're already a kind, generous person, money allows you to be more generous, right? I can put someone through college, no problem, right? My dad did that for someone. He and another guy both went in on it together and put this, inner city Chicago girl through college. What kind of gift is that? Not only for the givers, right? Not only for the receiver, also the givers, also the people who are going to benefit from that woman's education, right? Well, if they hadn't had the money, they wouldn't have done that. So money expands more of what you already are. If you're already generous, you expand your generosity. If you're already miserly and hoarding, then that's what it's going to expand. Money is not the source of those qualities. You already embody those qualities. Money only allows you to expand those qualities in whatever direction you're going to expand them. So that's one of my premises, right? Money expands what you're capable of. Money expands, who you are being, just the direction that you're going with what you value. And another of my premises is I invest my money in ways that give back and also expand my wealth. Okay? And the last one that I'm going to share is money is fun. Is it not fun? Is it more fun to have money or not? Call into the show if you have questions. Love to hear you after the break. We're also going to do 2 amazing exercises for changing your reality with money. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you in a moment.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Would you like to have a life of more clarity and abundance? What's possible for you when you get out of your own way? Connect with Kathy Williams for private coaching, or join her online to transform your relationship with abundance in every area of your life with the Radical Abundance course. Kathy also travels, facilitating radical abundance and access consciousness bars and foundation around the world. She'll be in London, Hawaii, Hilton Head, and other fun locations soon. Visit www.meetkathywilliams.com for a class schedule, to connect with Kathy, or invite her to your region and get some free goodies.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, Why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Sexy Mom Abundant Life. Our conversation today is around your stories with money and how those stories shape how reality shows up for us. So I had a question from a listener who was asking about a 10% account. And a 10% account is sort of part of the Richest Man in Babylon book, and a tenet of Access Consciousness. The idea that everything you make, it's really useful to put away 10% for you, and then you watch it grow and accumulate. Well, she said, that's awesome, and I don't seem to have 10% like left over or extra. And so how do I even get started? So my suggestion is, and I did this years ago, start to write down all unexpected money you get. Okay, and I did it and recorded it on a paper on the refrigerator right in front of my eyes. You know, every time I went to eat something, I could see, oh, I found a dime on the street. Oh, someone gave me a $10 tip. Oh, I got this dividend from a stock investment. Oh, you know, I was going to the coffee shop with a friend and she ended up paying. Okay, I would have paid. So that extra money, $3-4 goes on the list, right? And so you're seeing evidence that the universe is contributing to you. Okay. Oh, you know, I got this unexpected birthday check, whatever it is, okay? Put that on a list, on somewhere you see it. Ask the universe to show you unexpected money, and then put all of that money in a 10% account. And if it's way more than you expected, oh gosh, you know, I thought this, you know, maybe I had to buy a TV. I don't know where I got that idea, but I had to buy a TV, and it turns out my neighbor was selling his, and I got it for $100, and I thought I was going to pay, you know, $600. It's so funny, I don't even know how much TVs cost. But that extra $500 goes on the list. All right. So then you put that money away. Even if you're like, oh no, I really don't want to put that $500 extra away. Put it away for you to allow it to grow and accumulate. And as that account starts to grow, you become comfortable having money. See, a lot of people are comfortable spending money and not having money and being stressed, right? That's the familiar thing. But they're not comfortable actually having money, which is why most lottery winners are worse off a couple of years down the road after winning the lottery than they had been before they won the lottery. They're not used to or comfortable with having money. So it's a really useful muscle to build. And that's the way I suggest you do it if you do not have 10% to invest ever, you know, from what you take in. Another really cool way is a lot of banks can take it right out of your paycheck. That way, you know, or you know, your paycheck is deposited, and then money is just whisked out of your account and into an investment on a particular day of the month. So if you have more questions about the 10% account, you can message me at meetkathywilliams.com. and we can have more fun with that. Now we're going to head into a couple of exercises about stories about money, and then an energetic exercise that I really love that's so useful for unhooking from old patterns, even ones that you're not really sure or aware that you have. All right. So I have this as its own separate YouTube video, and it's on what do you love about this story. Okay, so choose a money story that you have, and we're going to do it with this story. Okay, it could be there's not enough to go around. I can't charge for my services. No one wants to pay me what I would like to charge. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter what it is. And now we're going to ask, what do you love about that story? You've solidified it, okay? And we're just going to collapse all that back to energy. Cool. All right, what do you love about that story? Oof. And all that is, will you collapse it back to energy? What do you love about that story? And you might say, I don't love it, Kathy. It's an awful story. Okay, well, everything you like about it, you're choosing it. So you must be choosing it because there's something there for you. Collapse it back to energy. What do you love about that story? There you go. Good. Collapse it back to energy. What do you love about that story? All that is. Will you collapse it back to energy? Something's happening. There's a lot of energy. Unconsciousness. Good. Okay. What do you love about that story? And all that is. Will you collapse it back to energy? All right. Now we're going to shift it. Okay. What do you hate about letting that story go? And all that is. Will you collapse it back to energy? Okay. What do you hate about letting that story go? Yeah. And all that is. Will you collapse it back to energy? What do you hate about letting that story go? Will you collapse it back to energy? And everything you hate about letting that story go, will you collapse it back to energy? Wow. All right. Cool. All right. And so what's fun about this exercise is you can do it not only with money, but with anything. And it's on YouTube under Kathy Williams, Public Figure. That's my YouTube channel. I love YouTube. I post there usually a couple times a week. And if you subscribe, you'll get those notifications. And I do it with something else. I created that video last summer, and I don't remember exactly what I was doing it about, but it might have been money also. But you can use it on anything, which is so cool. So taking your points of view and stories and just collapsing them back to energy, de-solidifying them. I also mentioned unhooking from the morphic field. And what we're going to do now is an energetic exercise that helps cleanse away, clarify, and neutralize a lot of the old energies and patterns, even if you don't know quite what those are. Right? So if you have the space to, if it's safe to, close your eyes and start to take some deep breaths. This is from my class called clearing your points of view about money. It also can be found in my class, 5 days of energetic exercises for money, which are in the shop at meetkathywilliams.com. So just start to imagine a waterfall, an energetic waterfall that flows from above you through your body. And this can be any color you like. Allowing this waterfall to cleanse, clarify, and transform any old patterns, any messages about money you got while you were in the womb. All the tensions and energies and patterns you received while you were floating in the womb. Allowing this energetic waterfall to just release those and transform those. Cleansing, clarifying, and releasing now. You may sense the waterfall just washing it all away, allowing the universe to do with them, with whatever it wants to do, transforming them into light. All the messages, all the patterns, all the points of view and stories you received about money from birth to age 4. Cleansing, clearing, neutralizing, all of those messages, birth to age 4. Okay, and now all the messages, patterns, experiences, thoughts, feelings, and emotions you received about money, you perpetuated, you chose about money that are no longer working for you from age 4 to age 12. Cleansing, clearing, releasing, transforming, all of that. Flushing them away, softening, releasing those old patterns from your cellular memory. And now from age 12 to age 21, all of those old experiences, neutralizing the memories, letting go of other people's messages, letting go of your own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and patterns, the ones that no longer work for you. Cleansing, clearing, transforming, releasing. And then from age 21 to now, all the experiences, all the evidence you have to support the points of view that no longer work for you. Just allow those to be cleansed from your physical, your mental, your emotional, all the energy bodies, just cleansing, clearing, releasing, transforming. And anything that's left, any residual patterns that no longer serve you, that no longer create a life that you'd really like to have, just wash those away. Knowing that your consciousness knows exactly how to do this and exactly which areas to do this. Cleansing, clearing, and releasing. And now ask to tap into the vibration that you would like to be in regard to money. Would you like to have peace with it? Ease? Joy? Whatever those qualities are, tap into those now. Honoring money, delighted about money, relaxed about money, whatever it is. The more you can tap into these energies in regard to money, the more those energies will expand in your experiences with money. Okay? Money is really useful. So it's useful to have a great relationship with it. Because that great relationship can expand your relationships with other people, with generosity, with adventure, with your physical body. Right? Money has an impact on all of these. Would you allow it to impact those in greater ways? All right, everybody. Thanks so much. If you like that exercise, head on over to meetkathywilliams.com and you can get one at 20% off by entering the code SMRadio in the shop. You can get 20% off money exercises or anything else there. Thanks so much for listening to Sexy Mom Abundant Life. We'll be back on IOM.FM next week, next Thursday. And if you can't wait till then, check out SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube for archives. And our next show will be on the physical body. How would your body